So I am considering this as the right time for making this video. From my knowledge, I am very much interested to provide some valuable guidance for students going to prepare for class 10th in this new academic session. So we have our presentation here. Cbse exams class 10 prepared by Sagnik Anip Sahu, content creator, student, self-directed independent educational researcher, Google Maps contributor, worldly affairs analyst, enthusiast in mathematics, various forms of sciences and social sciences, guided many fellow peers in right direction, resident of Bhubaneswar, Odisha, aspiring to create an impact for the nation through quality investments. So all the four major subjects are given emphasis in this video and in this presentation. First, it is mentioned mathematics, standard or basic, what to choose. The rule seems to be quite simple. If someone is interested to keep core mathematics in the next year, then is supposed to choose standard. If you have already decided to not opt core mathematics, then you may go for basic. But if someone is interested for preparing for competitive exams, must go for standard, because a lot of mathematics is required in future competitive exams and even in non-engineering and non-medical exams. So in this video the emphasis will be on standard mathematics. Some will also be helpful for basic people, because that paper would be easier than standard. So scoring good marks, in simple language it is written, scoring good marks equal to what? Equal to, first the name of the materials, NCERT plus RD Sharma. PYQs means previous year question papers. Exemplar book, solving more number of questions in less time, plus depth, plus concepts, plus competency, plus exam handling skills, plus mock test, plus regular effort, plus time management, solving more number of questions in less time, being competent, etc. Science, physics equal to concepts plus solving. Chemistry equal to concepts plus solving plus memorization. Bio equal to concept based and scientific but memory dependent. So concept plus memorization, but the subject seems to be quite concept based and scientific, but is heavily dependent on the memory. Role of NCERT book. Role of NCERT book here is, NCERT book is meant for studying deeply and deep understanding. Role of reference books. Role of reference book and exemplar book for solving practice papers, sample papers for solving, and the course must be completed before 1 month thoroughly, and things must be remembered and understood thoroughly, so that more questions would get solved in last 1 month. Role of teachers. Role of teachers. For understanding and learning, teachers have a crucial role. Role of internet. Still, if anything not understood, self-study plus YouTube plus internet plus not leaving any single thing and trying hard again and again until not understood will be the final solution. Some important strategies for preparation. Course must be completed before 1 month, which I had already told, and revision equal to YouTube plus own home copy plus own school copy plus own tuition copy plus own practice copy plus important parts of NCERT textbook. Tackling common issues among students and the mistakes to be avoided. First mistake, focusing a lot on the content of the reference books and ignoring NCERT contents. Focusing a lot on YouTube videos and not doing self-study on own properly. Only practicing questions without studying everything in detail. These are some of the common mistakes made by some of the students and which are supposed to be avoided. to tackle most of the common issues that the students are facing. The Along with focusing on the content of reference books, the content of NCERT must be focused, and focusing a lot on YouTube videos and not doing self study on own properly has also serious repercussions on the academic performance. Simply watching YouTube videos or simply sitting in the classes conducted by teachers won't help without practicing questions or without doing self study. Social science. Social science, history and civics. History and civics follow point headings, key points, keywords, key concepts system, and which will be helpful in securing marks in 2 marks, 3 marks, 5 marks and case studies. Geography, conceptual depth plus remembering by reading again and again plus key points and key facts system if possible. Also map skills play very important role. Economics, understanding plus remembering wherever required plus taking interest and being analytical. So history and civics, geography, economics, point headings, key points and keywords, these things play very important role. The system of point headings and the system of key points and keywords, these things play very crucial role. Importance of NCERT textbook. NCERT textbook is everything for social science, and one must not go through reference books for social science to get confused. That mistake needs to be avoided. And other mistakes like believing a lot in YouTube and not on the teachers. Believing a lot on YouTube for social science has a serious repercussion, and ignoring the words of teachers who are teaching in the school and just focusing a lot on YouTube can have serious impact on someone's academic performance. Then reading reference books and guidebooks is a very serious mistake, very big mistake, which is being done by students that has to be avoided. They make themselves confused. They don't listen to their teachers and they focus a lot on reference books and guidebooks, and they don't do self study of NCERT textbook. As a result, their academic performance in social science like subjects get affected. Understanding things also has some crucial role, especially in subjects like geography and economics. Understanding things play a very crucial role, especially in subjects like geography and economics. Understanding things. Then another big mistake which many students have done, and due to that they could not achieve their full potential in social science. They could not achieve their full potential in social science. The score up to their full potential, they could not achieve their score up to their full potential. That mistake is giving more emphasis on practicing questions rather than completing course properly. In social science, course completion is more important than solving questions. In mathematics like subject, solving questions becomes more important because it takes quite less time to complete the course, understand and remember all the formulas, theories and theorems. But in social science like subjects, more emphasis should be given on completing the course properly, so that you had completely understood all the things and you had completely remembered all the things. Then only practicing questions will help. And practicing less number of questions in social science is okay. Studying more number of hours in social science is important. And completing the course syllabus properly is more important than practicing questions in social science. In science like subjects, completing the course properly and also practicing more number of questions, both are important in science. But in social science, completing the syllabus properly, reading properly and understanding the things properly become more important in social science, and in mathematics solving more number of questions becomes important, because completing course in mathematics in standard 10th is not at all difficult, because it it is quite easy and it takes quite less time to understand and remember all the formulae and all the theorems and also all the theories. And another thing, making point headings and learning those key points and keywords directly also will give you 35 plus in history and civics out of 40 in your 80 marks examination, without even going through the book line by line. It will give you 35 plus out of 40 if that is done properly. Making point headings, going through all the key facts, learning those key points of each and every topic will help, even if you could not remember each and every line of the NCERT textbook. And now, as you would be scoring 35 plus in pre-boards in history and civics, so at the end of the year you can go through NCERT line by line and try for 40 out of 40 in history and civics. And one must not forget to do the map skills of history as prescribed by the Cbse. That has to be done. And economics, getting 20 out of 20 in economics is also quite easy to get 20 out of 20 in economics, but sometimes the number of MCQs in economics are more in comparable to other sections. 7 MCQs mostly in 80 marks examination. One is supposed to get 7 MCQs in economics and 3 to 4 MCQs in geography as well as history, and 5 to 6 MCQs in civics. And sometimes, and in generally economics, it is not at all difficult to score marks in longer questions, but sometimes in MCQs it is difficult to score full marks in economics as well. But the MCQs are bit analysis and understanding based, so if one has understood the economics topics properly, may also get full marks in MCQs in economics. And in geography, many students, they don't focus on conceptual depth and they don't remember everything, which can have serious repercussion in their performance. If they do not remember, by they don't read and again and they don't try to get the conceptual depth and they forget things, then it can have serious repercussions in the environment, in their academic performance. It can have serious repercussions. Some students ignore the depth concepts of geography. They think that easier questions may come, but if something comes from inside, then they may face problems. So those mistakes are supposed to be avoided. If some questions come from deep inside, they sometimes think in geography actually many things are there. Sometimes they think that they will get comparatively easier questions which are not from that conceptual depth, like they think that they will get such questions where they can write anything on their own without reading. But if those questions don't come, they face troubles. Like those questions come to a lot extent. For example, in this year, in one of the sets in Cbse class 10 social science, in one of the sets, in 2-mark question, it came about the formation of vents and lodes, the concept of the rising of molten magma, formation of vents and lodes, in the igneous and metamorphic rocks, the formation of vents and lodes. So it is a bit conceptual question and deep from inside the book. So one may struggle to get those 2 or 3 marks. Other questions may become correct, but one may struggle to get those 2 or 3 marks. Whereas you, in that particular set, in 5-mark question, it has asked about the importance of manufacturing industries, how manufacturing industries play a crucial role in Indian economy. So such kind of questions, students generally, those who have good writing skills and they have general ideas on various things, then they write those answers well. But apart from having general ideas, those general questions will also come in exam from geography part. But if something comes from inside, they struggle. They focus on general things which are given in geography book, and they don't focus on these depth things. Actually, focusing on depth things become bit difficult to understand. But one is supposed to focus, at least for the final exams. At least for the final exams, one has to focus on conceptual depth in geography by remembering, reading again and again. One is supposed to focus, otherwise it may become a problem. Actually, reading the geography book is quite essential. Analyzing the geography book is quite essential. One may not go through history book properly and can learn key points and keywords directly and also get 35 plus, means in history and civics, and also good marks in history. But reading the geography book is quite essential. Reading the geography book, quite essential. It indeed becomes quite essential. And another big mistake, which means I had seen many students in Bhubaneswar committing these mistakes, and also in other cities of India, they go unnecessary tuitions for social science. Actually, social science is not a subject to attend tuitions. In mathematics and science, one can go for tuitions because their conceptual understanding is required, and sometimes teachers can provide good help. So in mathematics and science, and also they in tuitions and all, they will be more competitive. They will be exposed to more number of questions. So going tuitions and coaching classes for subjects like mathematics and science can also prove very beneficial. But some students go tuition classes for SST. The YouTube videos sometimes may help, but not tuition classes. Actually, what happens if they go unnecessary tuitions for SST? They waste a lot of time while traveling to the place, going to the teacher's house or to the place where the tutorial runs. So they waste some amount of time there, which could be utilized for studying math and science. And some people get less marks in SST, and for that reason they start joining tuition classes for social science, which has to be avoided. Because if someone is weak in SST, then better you give half an hour or 1 hour at your own, by reading, by understanding the things, by making the point headings, by applying shortcut tricks to remember everything, by applying shortcut tricks that will help in better marks, help in your better performance in social science than joining tuitions in social science. Then English. So importance of grammar and reading over other sections. Importance of grammar and reading over other sections. Actually, grammar and reading sections are more important. There are some critical questions may come in comparison to your writing and other sections. So practice grammar questions and reading questions from starting, as later on you may not get time because of loads in mathematics and science. Because in mathematics and science you are supposed to give more effort in mathematics and science, because there are lot of conceptual things are there, and in mathematics and science you may get 0 for writing anything in your answer copy, because specified answers are there. But in English, on your own perception, if you write answers also, you are not getting 0. Most of the times the teachers award some marks in English. But in mathematics and science, the things cannot be altered. Actually, in mathematics and science, the things cannot be altered. Mathematics, the getting the correct answer is important. Showing the correct steps are also important. And in mathematics and science, you cannot alter the things. But in English, one may write answers based on his or own perception. So, considering that, the amount of time devoted for English should not be higher than the amount of time devoted for mathematics and science. Some people make students, some teachers actually, some teachers make students worry about their own language and literature subjects, but the thing is they will manage in English, but it is quite difficult to manage in mathematics and science. They can manage in English, but it is quite difficult to manage in mathematics and science, because the things are quite specific, and if you hadn't studied, nothing is going to strike on your mind. In English reading questions you may attempt without any preparation of the grammar questions. Even you can write literature answers, something which comes to your mind in a proper manner. There also you are being awarded some marks. But in science, if you write such things, whatever comes to your mind, you may get 0. There you may get 2 out of 3, but here you may get 0. So you need to consider that fact. But scoring excellent in English, this is a very important statement which I always give, which I had been giving to people. Very important statement. This statement says that scoring 100 out of 100 in mathematics is easier than scoring 100 out of 100 in English, or scoring even 98 in mathematics, or scoring 95. Let us consider 95. Scoring 95 or 97, 98. Better to consider 97 and 98 in mathematics is easier than scoring 98 or 99 in English. But scoring 90 in English, 90 or 93, 94 in English becomes easier than scoring 93, 94 in mathematics. This fact has to be kept in mind. This is the fact. This is the untold fact. It has to be analyzed. It is one of the untold fact, but it is the truth of most of the students in India. It is the truth, but it is the untold fact. So considering those facts, practice grammar questions and reasoning questions from the starting of your board's preparation, as later on you may not get time because of loads for various subjects like mathematics and science. What about writing? Do not worry much about writing if your writing standards are even average. What about literature? Read NCERT textbooks for literature. Do not go for Q&A, question and answer, and guidebooks without thoroughly reading and understanding the chapters again and again. This is one of the big mistakes that students commit in literature section. One of the big mistakes which students commit in literature section. They don't read the NCERT textbooks properly. They go for reading the guidebooks, they go for reading the summaries without understanding the chapter line by line and thoroughly again and again, which is a big mistake students commit. And practice is important. At the end of the year you can come back to English and practice again, but actually in the middle of the year you may not get time. Then comes time management in exams. Do sample papers, PYQs, practice papers, and give mock tests of 80 marks by sitting for 3 hours to learn exam handling skills and time management. Next, how to study English amidst the pressure of subjects like mathematics and science. It actually really becomes difficult to achieve your full potential marks in English while focusing a lot on mathematics and science, but it cannot be ignored. It cannot be ignored. Actually in those subjects those subjects actually require more regular studying. You can read English stories at the last moment and appear the exam. You may also do well, but that is not the case of mathematics and science, which everyone already knows. So it is quite difficult actually how to study English amidst the pressure of subjects like mathematics and science. But still, whenever you get time, you should devote some time for English. But not over your subjects like mathematics and science. Some students devote more time for English and social science over the subjects like mathematics and science, by not realizing the effective methods that could be used for English and social science at the last moment, even at the last moment, to score excellent marks. And some students focus a lot on the subjects which they like and they ignore the subjects which they don't like. Suppose a child is interested in mathematics, goes on studying mathematics, as a result of which his or her performance in other subjects get affected. Which these things have to be avoided. These things has to be avoided. These things may happen throughout the journey because the journey is long. So these things may happen, but one has to try his or her best to avoid such things. To maintain a proper balance. Actually, balance is very difficult to maintain. Actually, priorities are important. First priority should go to mathematics, and and next priority should go to physics and chemistry of science, and then the third priority should go to bio. Then the fourth priority should go to SST, and the fifth priority would go to English and the language subject which you have obtained, like Sanskrit or Hindi, the language subjects which you have obtained. So these things are quite important. Uh, so this was all about the preparation, your way of preparing, and if any kind of doubts, any sort of queries may come, then you are most welcome to ask your queries in the comment section of this video. You are most welcome. And the most important part of this video, actually most important part, it is actually a burning issue among many students in India, among many school students especially, starting from standard 6 to 10. I am not telling like that. I am not telling anything like that. I have been observing for years, and based on my observation, I am speaking these things. Because I have been observing, so I have been able to speak these things. So why some students perform average? Not taking things seriously. This is one of the major reasons. Many people say that no, they are average, they cannot go to top, or they are destined to be average. There is nothing such. Not taking things seriously. You see, the level of seriousness that the great people of this society have, the level of seriousness, and the level of seriousness, how it has enhanced their performance in their domain, in their respective domain, in their academics and in their domain, and how it took them to the top. It becomes indeed quite essential to realize this, which is being not realized by many students. It is being not realized by many students. Not being realized by most of the students of our country who perform average. Not taking things seriously. A bit casual kind of approach is being observed. Such things are supposed to be avoided. Actually, it is not that easy. The things are not that easy to handle, but still those things have to be avoided. Those level of casuality should not be high. Huh? No, video. The level of casualness, that should not be that extent of high. That should not be high to that extent. The level of casualness, that should not be high to that extent. and they don't take things seriously and are not ready to make some sacrifices to their enjoyment in order to succeed and score outstanding marks. It is one of the harsh reality which is being ignored by many people, many content creators, many educational content creators. They ignore this thing. But this is one of the harsh reality I am coming, means I am displaying this harsh reality in my video, which is being not displayed by many people. I am not the one who has come or who is aiming to create fear among people, but I am the one who is interested in showing the right direction and the true essence of what success means, be it be academic or any other field. But what essence does success have? Uh, Disturbances. Taking things seriously, actually this is bit easier to handle. If you, some students may be casual, but at the end they may do hard work and get the result. Not taking things seriously, this is the first thing. But I think, again I think, taking things seriously, you can easily take things seriously if you want. But second thing actually has made many students average, has kept many students average, and they are not able to reach up to their potential. What is that? They are disturbances. Disturbances means what kind of disturbances? That everyone knows, but they are ignoring this. They are sometimes engaged in other disturbances like relationships, distractions due to social media, hanging out regularly, etc. But actually the thing is, I know it is very difficult to avoid when someone is addicted to relationship, or someone is distracted due to social media, or someone is hanging out regularly, then it is actually quite difficult to handle. And there is also social life. I understand these things, as I am also a resident of a growing city. Bhubaneswar is quite growing city. I may not be the resident of Delhi and Mumbai, but I am also a resident of a bit growing city. The city is growing, so I understand these things. But still, once you have achieved that level of success, then how difficult it becomes for relationship. So why not wait until success comes? This is very important thing. These words have transformed many people. Very important thing to realize. How difficult it becomes for relationships after you are successful. So why getting distracted towards relationships from now? Second thing, distractions due to social media. In social media, lot of good contents are available, but why getting distracted due to social media and not having goals, and not having visions, and not having passions? Thing is, some people, some average students, some below average students, they have achieved unimaginable success in their life. That is true, but in but means giving that reason as an excuse for not giving that level of effort is also wrong. Giving that reason as an excuse for not giving that level of effort, it is also quite wrong. It is a wrong mentality. Giving that as an excuse and not giving effort is also a wrong mentality. Also a wrong mentality. Not giving that level of effort is also a wrong mentality actually. But the thing is, did they become successful without putting in that effort? It may not be studies, but they must have put in that level of effort in sports or in other domains which they are interested, and they must have followed their passion. That is why they are successful. But no one has become successful by sitting, by not doing anything, by not having that level of focus, by being engaged in various disturbances, by not giving that level of focus. That has not happened. It is the reality, and everyone is expected to realize this, because it is one of the essential key to reach up to that mark, up to that level of success. Although this video is being for preparation of a particular exam, but the importance of it, but along with this, along with knowing how to prepare for these exams, it also indeed becomes essential to know the essence of preparing for these exams, and what essential skills you acquire, and what essential value system and the visions one acquires throughout his or her process, this process of preparation, which is very essential to understand and realize. So second point was disturbances. Lack of depth. Look things from above and don't do in-depth study. It is one of the big reasons. Please do in-depth study. And once you are doing in-depth study, means you are trying to improvise your performance. Once you are trying to do in-depth study. But yes, in-depth study has to be done. But to score well in exams, the preparation must be examination centric. That is also essential. But still depth study is required. Depth study to the things which are essential for exam. Depth preparation or tough preparation, doing tough preparation, instead of looking things from above. Like many students, suppose I am giving one example. Suppose mirror formula. Mirror formula is also there in standard 10th syllabus. It is also there in standard 12th syllabus. Mirror formula. Mirror formula is 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. This is mirror formula, where f is the focal length, u is the object distance of the object from the mirror, and v is the image distance. This is just an example. So many of the students, they think that if I know 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u, I will be able to do everything related to mirror formula. So no need of touching that more. No need of going into more depth. But the problem is, suppose if directly two variables are given and we are being asked to find the third variable, it becomes quite easy. But suppose a question comes, this kind of questions are also there, which would be coming throughout your journey of Cbse exams preparation. Such kind of questions are also there. Suppose question comes, an object is kept. Suppose the question comes, the difference between the object distance and the image distance is, or the difference of the distances of the object from the mirror and the image from the mirror, image formed from the mirror, is 20 centimeter.